And welcome back into the Sports Source. Want to welcome back one of our old friends, Tennova Healthcare. And you know, the great thing about Tennova is they always have these great educational programs going on. Coming up on August 28th this month, it's going to be at the Foundry over at World's Fair Park. Tennova is going to offer free screenings and lead a free panel discussion on advanced orthopedics. If you're dealing with spine pain, joint pain, thinking about joint replacement, hand injuries, hand pain, you can get free screenings down there. You can also learn more about this at Tennova.com or call 855-836-6682, 855-836-6682. Free lunch will be provided, so we'll all be there. And our own Sterling Hinton will be the master of ceremonies. That is Tennova Healthcare. They're doing a free discussion and free screenings on advanced orthopedics. That's August 28th. We'll tell you more in the weeks ahead. We want to welcome Tennova back into the fold. I've said it before, we'll say it again. Love having them on this show because when it came to my cancer battle, they helped save my life. Tennova Healthcare. All right. Want to quickly examine Tennessee's offensive line and how it was put together over the years. This is first string, second string, maybe a couple of changes in there, but this is the majority of what we've seen the first couple of days, who's been in there. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Left tackle, you see Jacob Gillum. This is a redshirt senior from Farragut, former walk-on, who was given a scholarship this past offseason. Dontavius Blair is his backup, the JUCO transfer, 6'8", 300 pounds, 4-star when he was coming out as a JUCO. Next to him at left guard, you got Marcus Jackson, who took one for the team last year. He was an all-freshman SEC offensive lineman in 2011, redshirted and will be a redshirt junior this year. Then you have Austin Sanders, redshirt freshman, former 4-star recruit out of Bradley Central. I believe he was the first of the folks to commit to Butch Jones last year in that 2013 class. Matt Crowder at center, redshirt junior from Bristol, former 3-star prospect. You've got a couple of guys, Jimmy, that you saw. Ray Rollerson, true freshman, 3-stars from Tampa, but also at center behind him.
Dylan Wiseman, yeah, he was working at that position too. Wiseman can also play guard, but he was working at center when I was watching.
So you could see him in a couple of different areas there. Right guard, Kyler Curbison, redshirt junior from Knox Catholic, 3-star player, played in all 12 games last year. Behind him, Marquise Payer, redshirt senior, played in 5 games last year, 3-star prospect when he was coming out as well. And at right tackle, Coleman Thomas, true freshman, 3-star from Virginia, Florida State, and Virginia Tech. Offered him Brett Kidrick, the redshirt freshman from CAK, another 3-star guy, is his backup. You look at that, that is 6 starts all time, those guys. A starting lineup today of a former walk-on, 3 redshirt juniors, and a true freshman. 7 redshirts out of the 10 guys on the 2 deep, however. So I think that's a positive. They at least have an extra year under their belts. But Butch Jones has been telling these guys, hey, you can go and prove everybody wrong, folks like us. Here's the question, though. It sounds good, but how much can you put stock in that offensive line and those backups that we just saw?
I don't think you can put a lot of stock in it right now, which should make
motivate.
them chip on the shoulder type thing. I talked to Matt Crowder and Kyler Curbison about this the other day, and I said, how long does it take for an offensive line to build chemistry? And they said, well, we think we built it because we were the second unit last year, all working together, except for Coleman Thomas, of course. But I think that we've heard from Butch Jones that the spread option or the zone read is an equalizer for an average offensive line. We're going to find out. But I think that there'll be games where they're going to do fine. But I think when you ratchet up the competition and you go against the better defenses in the league, whether it's Alabama or South Carolina, maybe Georgia, I think they're going to struggle.
Teams built with great defensive linemen. That's the thing that's tough. If this were a team that was in the Pac-12 or the Big 12, they'd have a much better chance. Mm-hmm. But you're in the one conference where more defensive linemen get drafted than any other. I think that's the danger spot, Bob.
I think they're a blank slate. As far as, and you say it every year, wait till you watch them play and then judge what they are. I mean, potentially, could these guys be better than last year's offensive line? Yeah, potentially they could.
I don't see that.
I don't see that either. But here's the deal. Potentially they could be. Potentially they could be the worst offensive line Tennessee's ever had on the campus. You just don't know about them until they start playing. I'm kind of surprised that Blair has not stepped into the starting lineup yet. I would sort of expect him to before it's over with. No knock on the kid from Farragut. I mean, I think he's going to be, solid. And obviously, he's earned a scholarship. And then Jackson, I think, is the other key. to the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
he's a good player.
Yeah,
because
all
he's
SEC freshman 2 years ago. He's also the only guy that started for you.
So you've got somebody in there that is used to this thing, probably ought to emerge as the leader. So, but I mean, right now, I don't think you can predict him one way or the other.
I was going to say on Blair right quick, he was not in shape.
When he got
Well, there you go.
And that's one thing that hurt him. He has completely revamped his body. He's lost a lot of weight. So they feel better about his chances of being a starter, perhaps, at least a contributor.
Chuck, thoughts on the offensive line? How much stock can you put in them?
Well, I mean, you really can't, because I mean, it doesn't matter what position group it is. If you have that few starts returning, you're lucky that you do have Marcus Jackson coming back. But my thing, not only do you have to find starters, you got to find a couple of guys that you're going to be able to put in there, because none of these players have been used to going a whole game. They've been standing on the sidelines, man.
Yep.
So what happens when they are playing the whole game, and then what happens when somebody does get hurt and you start having to shuffle things around?
All right. When we come back, we're going to we're going to talk a little bit about Tennessee trying to have a tighter team attitude. A couple other topics going to be in the next segment. But I also want to tell you what we got coming up the rest of August. It is going to be a big, big month for us right there. You see, next Sunday we will do UT practice coverage and news again like we are today on the 17th. And I'd like to thank Butch Jones for making an open practice on the 16th. Because we won't be talking about it on the 17th. We're going to do this again. We did it last year where we had 8 to 12 former Vols on one show just to talk about the program. We're going to do that again this year. A lot of people like that. So we're going to have a ton of ex-Vols. It's our all VFL show on the 17th. On the 24th, we got some major changes coming here to the Sports Source that we're excited about. And on the 31st, you can start your game day with us for the first time. Tennessee's going to be playing on a Sunday, and we will be your game day show right here on the Sports Source. So a big August for us. Coming back to the next segment, we're going to continue on in this show talking about Tennessee's bonding efforts. Come on back on the Sports Source.